Starting off this video, we got something pretty exciting, at least something I'm excited about. Now, if you guys have been watching for a while here, you'll know my whole thing and what I've been saying a lot is trying to keep it clean and simple. And I think we've done a pretty decent job in the engine bay here so far, but there's one thing that I've been wanting to change pretty much since I got the LS, and that is the valve covers here. I mean, these don't look awful, the stock ones with the coil packs and the coil pack brackets, but I've always liked the look of clean or smooth ones. Now, I wanted to run smooth ones, but the only issue with that is where to mount the coils. And I've been trying to keep everything off the inner fenders, and we've done just that so far, and I want to keep it that way. So the only other option would be to mount the coils like down low on the inner frame rail or something, but that's really prone to water. So this kind of all came together, I guess, at the right time. Now the car's up and running, I can go ahead and do this, and I'm pretty excited about these. So first off, got to give a shout out to the guys at Southwest Performance Parts for sending me these. These guys have a ton of LS stuff, engine stuff, accessories, wiring. They actually have the intake that I have on the engine. They have a bunch of those. That's probably one of the most common questions I get asked all the time is where I got it. Well, these guys have it. So these things are pretty cool. They got the little coil mounts on them. They're actually the same like textured black as the intake, so I think that'll match pretty well. Not sure if I want to leave them black or paint them blue yet. We'll go ahead, toss them on as is, see what they look like, and hopefully that works. But it's neat. Came with the seals, which is also good because if you watched the last video, I broke one of the valve cover seals. That's why I had a little leak. So hey, awesome. Got all the hardware and whatnot. Came with this sweet little, I think it's billet. I'm pretty sure it's billet. Little oil cap there. So yeah, not too bad. And they sent me a note. How nice of them. I love getting notes and stuff like this. So we'll go ahead, take the old stuff off, toss these on, and see what it looks like. So check it out. Valve covers are on. They look a little bit different, but it definitely makes the engine bay look a lot cleaner. So in the end, I ended up painting them blue just because I had them on there black, and I wasn't digging it. Just something wasn't working with it. I don't know. It looked like it was too much almost here, and my dad was like, I think you should just paint them blue. So I went ahead, did that, and yeah, that was definitely the move. I mean, this color just looks so good in this engine bay. Like the contrast between them, and that blue looks good in about anything. I'll tell you what, that's one thing Chrysler got right, is they had their colors on point. But yeah, one thing I did learn is 04 Trailblazer SS coil wires work perfectly for these taller valve covers. So originally I had on I think 5th gen Camaro plug wires because they're really short, because that's what my dad has on this, and I didn't really want a super long coil wire just because I'm picky like this. But I had a box of other ones that I just had and other stuff that I bought thinking it would work, and yeah, these end up working. They got like a 90 boot on the bottom. They got plenty of slack in there, so I dig it. Pretty sweet. And of course, thank you to these guys for sending me those valve covers. Seriously, check out their website. They got some pretty good stuff, honestly, for some pretty affordable prices. And I know it's just valve covers. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but hey, it's something I wanted to do for a while, and I definitely think it's a nice little upgrade. I didn't think this would be as big of a issue as it has turned into now, but I knew it could be a potential issue. So this was the original shifter I made, I don't know, like a month or two ago. I used some hollow tube, it's just what I had. And then what I did is I just welded or drilled some holes, put some thread rod down it, and then just weld up those holes. So thread rod, geez, would stay on, and I could screw the shifter ball on the top. Well, since it was hollow, second day of like driving it, it just totally bent. So I was like, oh, let's go ahead and make a new one. This time out of some solid tube. So that's what I did right here. I ended up flattening out like the bottom spot where it would sit up against the shifter base. And this one ended up snapping like 5 minutes into driving it with it. I didn't paint it or anything because I just wanted to see what it would do, and just my luck, it snapped. So then I threw this one back on just for the past few days so I could drive it, and then this one ended up snapping today. So between learning from both of these things, here we have V3. And I think this one is plenty good. We got a solid tube here. Ended up having to drill and tap the end here for the thread rod, which was tricky, but I practiced on this one, and yeah, like another one I attempted to make. And ended up flattening out the bottom spot on this side, and I put a plate on the bottom here, some 1/8 inch plate, welded that on. So I think that'll give it enough rigidity now. The issue was like these side pieces here, the wall wasn't thick enough, but I wanted this diameter tube because I think this looks the best. So that's the solution. This will butt up against the shifter base. It won't even be noticeable at all. If anything, it looks kind of cooler. I think it'll go just like so. So now I can screw some thread rod into the top, toss the shifter ball back on, and let's hope V3 here works. I think it should. Not the most exciting thing, but there are a few things I've been getting done over the past few days, just trying to knock out a bunch of little stuff. I mean, I got a whole list here of just little stuff I'm trying to get knocked out and fix the shifter. So I went ahead and painted that now that I know it works. So welding that little plate on the bottom was the ticket. I went ahead and added this top part to my floor mats, I guess you could say. I did the bottoms a while back. I just never actually really finished it and did the top part. And now it looks a lot better and also functions and works a lot better. This is just skateboard grip tape for kind of my floor mats here. So it also works pretty well. I had it before, I just replaced it because I repainted the whole floor, but yeah, I dig it. And then I went ahead and I had to repaint this stripe on this side because I thought it would be cool to like sand it up and make it look patina. I was quickly reminded why I repainted them in the first place. So I went ahead and repainted it, taped it all off and whatnot. I know, super exciting. But the reason I did that is because I've been wanting to do this for a while. The patina saw steel here, I've seen a bunch of guys use this, so I think we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot because right now it is pretty dull and gross. I buffed it out like a year ago-ish and it didn't really last too long. So I don't know, this stuff seems to work pretty well from what I've seen online. So go ahead and wash this thing for probably the first time or second time I've actually washed it. I mean, the rain usually works. And we'll start tossing this stuff on. Even after washing it here, you can see it's pretty dull, especially up top. I mean, anywhere there is really purple, it's really dull. When I buffed it, a lot more purple came through, which I like. A lot of people don't like the purple. I think it looks really cool, and honestly, it contrasts really nice with the orange. I think it seems like it's too light to be plum crazy. I mean, maybe it was like a mixture of like pink and purple or something. It's kind of like a magenta. But like up here, it's really dull. And here you can see, so this car is originally EV2, so you can see the original under there. You see it purple, and then someone painted orange back on top, which was one of the reasons why I got this one. I really wanted an orange one, but it's kind of cool. That's an original heavy orange car with a slant. That's not rare, but just not very common to have like a high impact color with a 6-cylinder. But yeah, we'll see what this stuff does. I mean, honestly, anything better than this like dull kind of like, I don't know, it just looks old and sun faded. So I think that patina sauce is really meant for cars that have like actual like rust on it. This is more or less just faded paint, and it's single stage. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, anything is better than this. So give it a shot. This is just after wiping it on. Obviously it's gonna be different until I go ahead and wipe it off, but you can see more purple already starting to shine through. It's pretty cool. I dig it, it's nice and shiny already. And I broke the one rule I said not to do, and I would put too much on the towel. I spilled it. That's all right though. Wiped it up, all good. So I'll do probably 2 or 3 coats. Just because they said that's where you get the most shine and most protectants. And we'll let that cure for about 20 minutes and then we'll go ahead and wipe it off. Honestly, this stuff worked a lot better than I was expecting. My paint is so scratched up and just messed up from everything over the years that it's not like perfect, but that definitely brings some shine back to it. So we'll see how long it lasts. That's kind of the main thing that I'm interested in here. Hopefully at least longer than a month or two. It should. So I had 2 coats on originally, and that wasn't really doing a whole lot. So I did the thing where you let it sit for like 30 minutes, wipe it off, put a 3rd coat on, do the same thing, and yeah, 3 coats seem to really bring the shine out in it. So just a little thing that I've been wanting to do for a while and makes a pretty good difference. So another little thing that needed to be replaced and addressed here is the cam bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and say these are the original cam bolts off the car. And as you can see, the washers on the ends are pretty rounded out. They're supposed to have a flat spot on it, and that's what actually does or makes the cam bolt do its job. Basically, every time we go to tighten it, the bolt itself will just spin on the end of the washer and therefore do nothing. So got 4 new cam bolts. Gonna go ahead, replace them all, and hopefully that'll allow us to get the alignment then dialed in, because we kind of just had it set up for good enough until these came in. So yeah, not too bad. And gotta keep reminding myself that just water and just dirt, although it is painful to look at it kind of dirty after doing all that work. But hey, that's the price you gotta pay in order to drive it, and for that, I'd say it's worth it. This is once again another simple project that turns into a bigger project because I'm picky and don't like the way things look. So the horn here would originally mount in the firewall, or backside of the firewall, excuse me, somewhere along this area right here. But I think it looks ugly in there, and I like having the engine bay nice and clean. So went ahead, welded up this little tab on it, drilled the hole, pretty simple. And it's gonna sit on the bumper bracket just like so, facing down, and you'll never be able to see it. But in order to grind down this spot on the bumper bracket and drill the hole, it required pulling the entire bumper. So all this just to get the horn mounted out of the line of sight. Oh well, I think it'll be worth it. I got the horn bracket all wrapped up and mounted, wired up and everything, so it is officially complete. Can cross that off the list. For those that are interested in this little project, all I did was just make a 90 bracket off like the backside of the horn, and then I drilled a hole up in this top lip, wherever it is, the top lip of the bumper bracket, mounted it there, and then just extended the original wire, which you can see right there, down to it, and it works perfectly. Can't even see it from the side. Mounted it upside down, so when water splashes up and everything, it doesn't just get stuck in the horn. And then this is where it originally would have gone, right here, and I just didn't want to put it there because I think it looked too cluttered. So I'm happy with doing that underneath, even if that meant pulling the bumper off and whatnot. Not a huge deal. So yeah, that works. Just trying to get a bunch of little things all completed here over the next few days before I go into the next, I guess, big project here, because getting the little things off the list is a lot harder than doing some of the bigger, more fun, exciting things. But since we're on the topic of horns here, let me show you probably the funniest thing in the world. Yeah, the original horn on this thing sounds like a boat horn, which is fitting because it's a lanyard. I love being able to use that on the road. I don't know, I find it funny. Stupid, I know. Anyway, I know this is pretty much a pointless episode video. There we go. But the name of the game is consistency, and that's what we're trying to do here. But next video should be pretty exciting because I just got this in today, and I got a bunch of other stuff coming hopefully within the next few days that I'm pretty excited about. So hopefully sooner than later be able to do burnouts in this thing.